Facts Verse presents Wife Finds This in Her Trunk and Can't Believe Who It Belongs to. Before we get started, make sure to like the video and subscribe to our channel. Goedecke. Goedecke had a beautiful life. She was a hardworking, successful woman. After working her way through nursing school and grad school, Goedecke landed her dream job. She also had a man who she loved by her side and a beautiful daughter. For a while, Goedecke thought she had it all. She loved her life in her beautiful Jacksonville Beach, Florida home. She could eat lunch by the ocean every day and go to beach outings with her beautiful family. A shocking surprise. Goedecke was driving home from work on a Monday afternoon. Just 2 days earlier, she and her family celebrated her daughter's 3rd birthday with a luau party. While driving, she remembered the beautiful moments that her family had during the party. When she drove up to her house, her mind snapped back to the present. Goedecke noticed something very strange in her front yard. When Goedecke got closer, she saw that all her belongings were thrown all over the front yard. She couldn't understand what was going on. When Goedecke got out of her car, she found out that her family had been evicted from their home. To make matters worse, she wasn't allowed inside, and the locks had been changed. Not a simple eviction. When Goedecke found out that it wasn't just a simple eviction, she was upset and confused. When she found out that everything in her family wasn't as great as she believed, she was stunned. When she found out that her husband had been keeping a secret from her the whole time they were married, she was heartbroken. Why? Goedecke was very confused about the eviction. She had been paying her share of the rent and household bills religiously. Goedecke always prided herself on being a very responsible person. She had never been late on a bill in the past. Goedecke called her landlord to find out what was going on. He told her they were 3 months behind on the rent. Goedecke thought all along when she gave her husband her share of the rent that he was writing the check and mailing it out. Somehow the money had disappeared. Her husband either wouldn't or couldn't explain where the money had gone. Strange behavior. Goedecke started thinking, and she realized that recently her husband had been behaving strangely. He was sleeping odd hours, he was losing weight, and he often had mysterious errands that he had to run. Goedecke couldn't believe that all of this was happening, and she didn't realize it all at the time. Goedecke needed more clues to get to the bottom of things, so she wanted to check his car. Rather than parking his car in their driveway, Goedecke noticed that it was parked further away in the guest parking lot. Goedecke found his car and she searched it. A hidden addiction. When Goedecke checked her father's car, she found the first clues to the mystery. Thrown all over the car were empty prescription pill bottles and a bunch of empty cans. She couldn't believe that these things were in the car that their husband drove their daughter around in. A secret life. Next, Goedecke decided to check the trunk. Wife finds this in her trunk and can't believe who it belongs to. Goedecke found a huge stack of mail in the trunk. It was years' worth that her husband was hiding from her. She found bills and birthday cards. As she was learning about her husband's secret life, she realized that her rent money was spent on his addiction. Stolen identity. While Goedecke was going through the hidden mail, she discovered that her husband had stolen her identity and ruined her credit. During their whole marriage, he was opening credit cards and taking personal loans all in her name. She couldn't believe that he had done this. More lies. Goedecke kept digging, and she found out that her husband was never in the Marines like he told her. His education and job were also lies. For 10 years, Goedecke was married to a man she didn't even know. As if this weren't enough, Goedecke found out that her husband had another daughter with another woman. Goedecke tracked him down and she confronted him about his lies and his secret life. When he did, he abandoned both Goedecke and their daughter in a Target parking lot. Nowhere to go. Goedecke was devastated. Her husband was gone, her credit was ruined, she was broke, and she was evicted from her home. Goedecke had no other choice but to take her daughter and move into a cheap motel. Limited options. Goedecke and her daughter didn't even have a clean change of clothes to wear, so she went to Walmart to buy some things to tide them over. Goedecke had no support in Florida, so she had to move back to her parents' home in Tennessee. She had to find some way to rebuild her life that had been destroyed. To add to her misery, she left the bright sunshine of Florida to Tennessee, which was freezing cold and snowy. Starting over. Goedecke tried to start over in Tennessee. She was happy to have the support of her parents, and she had some old friends to turn to. Goedecke's friend asked if she wanted to meet his friend Stephen. The friend was sure they were perfect for one another. Not sure if she was ready to date so soon after her divorce, she looked up Stephen on social media. When she did, she saw a picture of his with a little girl that Goedecke recognized. It turns out that Stephen's ex-wife's sister was Goedecke's hairdresser. Goedecke's mother said it was a sign, and her daughter should go for it. Perfect. Goedecke decided to reach out to Stephen, and the two talked on the phone a few times. When they met in person, they hit it off. Soon the couple was inseparable. Even though Goedecke had serious trust issues, she fell for Stephen. They moved in together and soon became engaged. Today, she's living her dream life with her husband and her new stepdaughter. Everything that her ex-husband had done in the past was behind her, and she was starting over. They even had a child together. What started out as the worst time in Rebecca's life turned out to be her dream come true. We hoped you enjoyed this video. Leave us a comment and tell us what you thought. And be sure to subscribe to Facts Verse for more videos.